Okay, good evening, teachers. A warm welcome to our pedagogy webinar conducted by Oxford University Press India in association with Centre for Art Teachers of Oxford Advantage and Oxford Inspire. My name is Ashika and I'll be your host for today's session. Good evening. Yes. Here are a few housekeeping rules before we start the webinar. All participants are on mute and cameras are off by default to minimize any distractions. For any queries, please use the chat box. Our team will address them. We aim to maintain high quality connectivity. If there is any technical glitch, we'll inform you. If you face any audio video issues, please check your internet connection once. Logging out and back in usually helps actually. A feedback form will be shared at the end of the session. As you're already aware, please take a few minutes to fill it. Upon submitting the form, you will receive a certificate of participation via email. If you don't receive the certificate by tomorrow, please contact the manager, Academic Excellence. So today's webinar is about promoting socio-emotional learning in your classrooms and how SEL helps develop self-awareness for students, empathy, emotional regulation, positive relationships. And of course, these are essential skills for lifelong success. And through this webinar, we will be learning how SEL enhances academic performance and reduces behavioral issues, how it creates a safe, inclusive environment, practical strategies embedded in SEL into daily routines, classroom discussion, subject teaching. Certain examples are like morning check-ins, reflective journaling, collaborative activities. Emphasis on teachers' role as a model of empathy and resilience. So now let me introduce you all to our speaker, Ms. Aarti Bagdi Gill. Aarti is a passionate educator and change maker with over 15 years of experience in transforming learning through innovation, inclusion, and sustainability. A university gold medalist with a background of pharmaceuticals and an MBA from Jamia Hamdard. She brings a unique blend of academic excellence and educational insight. As a CBSE resource person and Microsoft Innovative Educator certified trainer, she has led numerous capacity building programs focused on 21st century skills. Her classroom practices are rooted in experiential learning, inspired by various methodologies and project based approaches. She has led leadership roles in curriculum development, teacher mentoring, and is a global ambassador for SDG 4, actively promoting quality education and sustainability. Aarti has received multiple national awards and authored articles on early childhood education and sustainable pedagogy. Her philosophy is every child is capable, curious, and creative learner, guides her mission to create joyful, inclusive learning spaces. Without any further delay, grab your notebook, open your mind. Let's begin this journey to learn how we can strengthen our students' hearts and mind. Over to you, Aarti ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anshika ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. And today we will talk about promoting socio-emotional learning through practical classroom strategies. So all the teachers and different kind of viewers who are present in this session should understand right from the beginning, and by the end of this session we will reach the zenith. So let's start this journey of 2 hours and let's see what different components, parameters, strategies, tools, options, and at last one case study too to support this content. Today, in this session, we have certain objectives. In your classroom, you also have objectives, and by meeting those objectives, you reach learning outcomes. Similarly, in this session, we first of all understand, explore, and then reflect about this word SEL in whole. Socio emotional learning. We need to understand the importance of SEL first of all. Then we explore different strategies, how we make children go through this process of socio emotional learning, and then gradually we promote it. Last but not the least is reflection. How you implement it, what is the daily teaching ways you follow, and how you reach learning outcomes. So let's see how we will go through this understanding, exploration, and reflection. Let's understand first of all what is an emotion. Being an interactive session, you can write your answers in the chat box as well. So, what do you feel? What is an emotion? Emotion is a natural feeling, it is coming out from within yourself that arises in response to your thoughts, whatever your experience is. And it is particularly for children when we are talking about the students. Different situations, different experiences, and number of thoughts coming in mind of a child will give rise to a feeling that is emotion. When we talk about SEL, we first understand emotion. Now, when we talk about emotions, we think of happiness, sadness, angriness, surprise, and a number of different emotions. But how you manage those emotions? Again, a question. By staying calm when you are upset, you need time to express feelings appropriately. If somebody is not giving you time to express your feelings, again, it is difficult to manage emotions. And then what will happen? You bounce back. Staying calm is again a question mark when you are not getting enough time or enough exposure to show your emotions. When we are talking about SEL, it means we are talking in sense of classroom only. So managing emotions in the classroom is again a turning point. Dear teachers and all the viewers who are watching this, we have a cycle of emotions. First of all, any event come into play. That can be a prompting event or it can be a simple event. And then what will happen? Interpretation will take place. Eventually, we all had talked about various life processes during our schooling era, there is always a response towards stimuli. So when any event take place, next to that event is interpretation. After interpretation, what will happen? There will be a response coming from your side or maybe from student side. Then what comes next is urge. Of course, we all have that urge to act. There is always a response towards stimuli. That urge leads to an action, reaction, and action. Again, we had learned in our schooling era. And then eventually, after effects of that action come into play. So, this is how our emotions revolve in a vicious circle. These different components of cycle of emotions take place in our daily life, not in the life of a teacher, but in the life of a student as well. Here we are talking about emotions, how we will manage the emotions, different conditions or situations prevailing in our day to day life will definitely somewhere related to socio emotional learning. Now, again, when we had talked about emotion, managing the emotion, now I believe this is the right time to understand this socio emotional learning. In the very first slide, we had seen understanding, exploration, and reflection. I believe now you can better relate with that slide. Socio emotional learning is something which is related to your social behavior, related to your emotional upfront, and somewhat related with your feelings, your inner self too. So, first of all, we need to understand how to manage our emotions. There are children, there are people who are not comfortable to manage the emotions. They show their emotions everywhere. And despite of that, they do not understand how it is going. So, when such situations prevail, we need to understand about this learning. You need to have positive goals. You need to show empathy for others. Very important. That element of kindness is making you a beautiful citizen. So it's a very important component of socio emotion learning, that is to be empathetic. Building relationships. I believe when students are in the classroom, we build a very strong positive relation with them. Not only a teacher make a relationship with the child, but the child along with the peer is also making a beautiful positive relationship. These relationships, this empathetic behavior will help you to reach and understand the better way to go for managing emotions. And last but not the least, taking decisions and then understanding your responsibility will make you be responsible for the decisions. As you can see, for socio emotional learning, first of all, it is important that I should be aware of myself. My self awareness is on the top. I should understand what am I. I should know my identity. The child is unique. Every child is unique in your classroom. So that child should be self aware, self identified, self named. There are children who even feel as if they do not know their name. They are so emotional, they are not able to manage those emotions. They are facing different kind of situations which they are not even able to explain. The vocabulary is not that much rich to explain. That is the reason why we are talking about socio emotional learning. Social awareness. In this era where we are dealing with alpha generation, they are in a situation where they are less social. They are more prone to AI native screens. In that situation, again, very important element which is missing is socio emotional learning. Sharing is a very small, very common word, again related to your social learning. They are not ready to share the things. They don't have that empathy to do sharing. They don't want to build the relationships because this element is lacking. So we are inculcating this element through this learning. And of course, self management. If I'm aware of myself, if I'm having social awareness as well, if I have those relationships by my skills, I can easily do self management. And of course, by self management, I can take responsible decisions. Every decision is not correct. The better we say is take decisions and let them be correct. So, understanding socio emotional learning in this generation where they are AI natives is again a question mark. Now, why this SEL in classrooms? What is the benefit of socio emotional learning? And of course, there are so many challenges too. This socio emotional learning is enhancing the academic performance. Eventually, teachers who teaches students, they want good academic performance. They feel as if the child is learning. If the child is learning good, it means the performance is coming up academically. So, this SEL is somewhere making us to reach that learning outcome that is your performance. Resilience, too much auditory listening term nowadays. So, the socio emotional learning is building resilience and adaptability in the students. Behavioral issues. N number of behavioral issues are prominent nowadays in the classrooms. Very common ADHD. And apart from these very prominent behavioral problems, There are certain more problems which are not prominent, but yes, we can see in children. And we feel why such problems are prevailing. What should we do? We go and ask our mentors. We even read. We find out the solutions. And sometimes we click different solutions. But yes, SEL in classroom is helping you to reduce this behavioral problems point two. Inclusivity, very beautiful element of new education policy 2020. Everyone is equal. Everyone is having the exposure of equity, empathy, and at the same platform they are learning. So, your socio emotional learning is promoting inclusivity. Every child, irrespective of family, financial, cultural, traditional background, is coming at the same platform in the classroom and enjoying the learning. So, that is again a beautiful element of socio emotional learning. When you are making children be social with each other, they have good peer learning, and this will enhance the academic performance of the child. And of course, real life challenges. In our new education policy, we are talking about real life based applications. So, in your socio emotional learning, students are getting prepared for these real life challenges as well. So, I believe all these five different components will reflect you the benefits and why this SEL is important in your classrooms. Of course, when any approach we discuss about the model. So, in your socio emotional learning, there is again one model of understanding. Every model is giving you an understanding that how you are going to implement it in the classroom. Being an individual, either me or my student should be self aware, first of all, should know the surroundings, should know the inner self, should know his or her name, should know his or her parent's name, should know his or her surroundings, address, numbers, whatever the basic details which are required to be learned or aware by that child. And of course, this model says that I should self manage myself. In our whole 24 hours cycle in a day, we manage different things. Children are very small, gradually they grow and they learn management accordingly. A 3-year-old child learn to know how to keep toys at place. For them, self management is keeping their things at place, doing those small little tasks which make them feel confident, which make them understand how to organize the things, is self management. If I go to primary and elementary grade students, gradually they learn how to eat properly, how to keep the big size belongings at place, how to dress well, and gradually they manage their own stuffs, keeping the things at place in cupboards. This is self management for them. And then gradually they learn how to sit and learn for a period of time. That is again a management. Eventually, when we go for higher grades, gradually this graph goes up. They learn how to go for that longer period of learning time as per their need of time to learn. And this is how they start managing. They manage how to sit and learn for a longer period. They manage how to go for their extra learning time classes. They manage how to go for extracurricular activities too, so that they should not be socially away from daily tasks, so that they will not get more affected by alone studying zone time. So these are the different ways how children manage and learn self management. Then they go for social awareness. Gradually, children go for social awareness when they choose their friend. I always recall a quote: chance make our parents, but choice make our friends. So when they make friends, that is their choice. But again, when you do not give them choice, when you do not give them social awareness or time to talk with their peers or doing certain activities which help them to understand that yes, this is the one with whom I should talk to, I should get friends to, and that is how you socially get connected with people. And then eventually, relationship building will take place. Relationship is a very beautiful word, and it is very clear that people on this planet are somewhere related to each other through relationships only. So, making relationships right from a small age, understanding the beauty will help this model to go ahead with a period of time. And eventually, when you are inculcating awareness, management, skills, then of course you talk about responsibility, and last but not the least is decision making. So, making children independent to take decisions is again a responsibility and a beautiful element of socio emotional learning. They eventually can take good decisions. Decisions are not always correct, but give them opportunity to at least take decisions first. Now, when we are talking about socio-emotional learning, then we create environment in the classroom for that learning. So, if you already have socio-emotional learning environment in your classroom, that is a wonderful job. Still, we have certain reflections to understand this environment. Storytelling and role playing, I believe, is the most beautiful way to see the emotions, understanding the emotions, making the children to speak their feelings, and of course, connecting, bond with the children. And I personally relate with it. Eventually, doing collaborative learning along with peers, as you can see in this clip, they are making or they are looking forward to solve this puzzle. And then, of course, making the journals. Trust me, teachers and viewers, when you give opportunities to the children to make their own journals where they draw something related to their inner self and whatever they think inside, they reflect by drawings and colors. And they are all masterpieces. When you shuffle the pages, when you read them, because nothing is written there, it's all about drawing and colors and patterns. Eventually, you see that every child is having a different feeling, though they do not have that much rich vocabulary if they are in their foundation years or in their primary years. Eventually, in elementary grades, they have good vocabulary to express a lot. But reflection journals in foundation years, in primary years, will play a vital role to help the teacher understand this socio emotional connect. So, giving the opportunity to the children for all these different components will definitely make your classroom environment rich. When the child is coming to you in the classroom for the first time in the morning, we give them a beautiful greet. Every teacher is having a different temperament or a way to treat children in the morning time. Sometimes they go for high fives, sometimes they go for different kind of gestures, sometimes they go for emotional wheels. They give you hug even. They need your hug even. They are looking forward for that connect. In your circle time, you may see children happily connecting with you, but you may might see a child who is not happy, who is sad. This is a time that we connect. Morning circle time is the best time where we connect with our children in the classroom. If you connect in the morning only, the whole day will go so smooth. Otherwise, the whole day will be of no learning for that child. Every child is connected to the teacher. Idea is how much steps we go ahead when the child is not coming ahead to you. Emotional vocabulary building. When there are few children who have different kind of hitting behaviors, not giving a good touch or empathetic touch to the peers. So, in that case, we teachers will help them understand the beauty of kindness. We make them understand how to be calm. We make them understand what is patience. They do not know the word patience, but we inculcate by different activities. They are very small until and unless when they grow up, they eventually need the vocabulary which is age appropriate. When you give age appropriate vocabulary to the children, they speak along with different peer members, and you never know, this vocabulary building will be an influential learning tool for you as a trump card in your classroom. There are few children who connect better. There are few children who hesitate. There are few children who are so abrupt and they do not think anything and emotionally, unconditionally connect with you. In that case, those children will definitely help others children to remove that cobweb, that hesitation, and connect at the same time with you. So I believe SEL classroom environment should be a part of each and every classroom to enhance the calmness, which is really a missing element among children nowadays, because they are screenaholic as well. Now, there are certain practical strategies. When we are in the classroom, we need certain practical strategies. So, before those practical strategies, what do you think? A very simple question for you all. What is self awareness? I'd already discussed with you. What do you feel in your own words? You may write in chat box. Meanwhile, I go ahead. So, when I feel what is self awareness, let it be very, very elaborative for all of you. Help your students to recognize and name their emotions. Very easy, very clear. If a child is having any kind of emotion prevailing inside, in mind, by heart, the child should able to make you understand. Emotional check-in. How do you feel today? Very important. Every teacher should connect with the child with this very simple emotion check-in, that is, how do you feel today? This word sadness should not be the part of the classroom, but yes, children should know this word to make you understand if the child is not feeling happy. Charts, emojis, different color coded emojis will definitely make the children get prompt to express that what they feel today. Sometimes they don't want to speak what they feel, but by selecting an emoji, by putting a finger on that particular emoji on a chart, or picking any color coded color which is meant for sadness, happiness, angriness, shyness, surprise, any kind of emotion will make you understand non verbally that the child is understanding and facing this from inner self. Feelings journals, I told you, the moment you go through and flip the pages of those feeling journals, you immediately connect with the movie Tare Zameen Par. That feeling journal was like that. The moment uh, that sir at the end of the story flipping, and eventually one figure lost. So you may understand, you may connect that how children get affected by any kind of an episode which is going on in their life. At least when children are there with you in your classroom, if 30, 40, 25, whatever the number is coming from, different backgrounds, coming from different financial status understandings, coming from different cultural backgrounds, even language backgrounds. But when they are with you, they should share the feelings with you. You are the one common person, I believe, in their life with whom they can share the feelings at par and they can express. Sometimes children have fear not to express. Sometimes they feel they should not speak this or that as guided by someone else in their life, and they feel hesitate. They do not connect, they feel less confident, and that journal is a jackpot for them. They draw, they write, and then they close and eventually feel safe. They feel safe because they feel as if only one person, that is me, the teacher of the child, can read it. And they are no more having that fear. So, this self awareness feeling journal, that emotion check in, how do you feel today? Clicking on those different colors and emojis on the chart will give you an understanding that what kind of emotion is moving around there in that chemical in the mind. Emotion charades, act out some emotions, other guess some activity, and then they relate, they open up, and eventually a child is picking out an emotion from that emotion box. So, this is the beauty, how you make them comfortable, self aware, and eventually sharing the feeling with you. What is self management? I've given you prior examples too, right from the beginning till higher grades, how children do management. Some classroom self management acts are also there. It is helping the students to manage stress. Now, when we talk about this word stress, is again a turning point for all of us in this era where they are screenholic, where they are spending less time with people, talking, enjoying, jumping, playing in the park, not confined to homes, running, jumping. So, these elements, these activities will make you release certain hormones, and then eventually you feel relaxed. Otherwise, that word prevails, that is called stress. And why it is too much prominent, I'd already told you, when we do not do such outdoor activities, social buildings, playing with peers, talking with peers, sharing feelings, then such situations prevail. But yes, we are accepting in this alpha generation, and we create self management corners as per the need of today's child. So, that calm corner is a cozy spot where students can take a break when they are overwhelmed. There are children who get overwhelmed. There are children who are so abrupt. There are children who are so calm and they need some pickup. So we have different kind of learners in the classroom, and similarly you can create the zones to meet the need of time. There should be some mindful moments, some breathing activities, some stretching breaks between the lessons, because that continuous learning phase, and if you are confined to the classroom, again a turning point. For engaged learning, maximum 20 minutes, 30 minutes at bar. After that, we always should give breaks to the children. Very simple. Children are learning for the whole day and the teacher keeps on changing. So the student feel as if, why don't I get changed every time? Only teacher is getting changed and we are confined to that room. So this is a basic understanding of a human mindset, that they also need a break. So that break giver is you, the listener, the educator. And eventually, goal setting. Every week, you go for certain goals, right? Goals are very important in the classroom to make you understand that everybody is connecting, everybody is managed. So that self management is a key for motivation. So stay motivated and make children connected to you and to their inner self by controlling their impulses, by making them manage the word stress, which should not be the part of their vocabulary until and unless they meet the appropriate age to define this word stress. When I talk about social awareness, it means the people, the surrounding, n number of people to whom I know by face only is again a social awareness. Every time we cannot connect by name, but yes, we connect visually. So that visual connection, that verbal connection, auditory connection is making us be a socially aware person. Help students to understand others' feeling as well and their point of view too. Nowadays, students want to speak only. They don't want to listen until and unless if any child want to express, sometime the dominating child will suppress the feeling. Very common. Idea here is giving the opportunity, counseling those children to do not overlap the responsibility, or you can say the opportunity of that child. Every child is important. They should talk with each other. They should have empathetic circle. They should have something in the whole day in which they have done something good for their own friend or classmate, and eventually celebrate it. Celebrate it at least in a week. Make it a beautiful feeling for the children. Make it a part of learning for the children to build that word respect. Everybody is looking for respect. Who will inculcate it? Again, a question mark. So, building respect, getting respect, and at the top, inculcating respect. So, being an educator, being a teacher, it's my responsibility that nobody is taking this word inculcation, but I am the one who is on the top taking this word inculcation. So, inculcate this feeling, kindness, inculcate this feeling of respect. Respect for everyone, irrespective of age. And of course, we respect elders. That's a very common value we learn at our school times in moral science. So, that respect is for elders, of course, right from the beginning of the school era. But respect for your peer is again very important. Building those relationships, then celebrating the relationships, experiences, sharing experiences, and this beautiful kindness jar where you write any one beautiful act which you have done, which shows that you are a kind person. And when you open this kindness jar by the end of the week, when we usually make the last day of the week as a activity day, or sharing the self expression where you read, observe, understand your children, and then eventually they also feel connected when you read different kindness activities. I still remember in one of the classroom it was written, I haven't um, touched or hurt as an ant till now in my life. So such a beautiful feeling, and it is very difficult. Again, even I cannot say that I haven't done it so far, because this is very very difficult. But that beautiful chit of kindness jar was giving, you know, insight that yeah, students feel like this also. The child wrote that it might be an ant baby or it might be an ant mother. This is how we relate with the children. So this is what the understanding is. Your kindness jar is giving your own self reflection. And when children hear different kindness activities, once the teacher read all the chits, then it will give the impact that I may be the next one who may do it or can do, so that others will feel happy. And of course, I definitely feel happy. What are relations? Relations are not every time by birth we build relations. Right now, I'm building relation with you. I'm speaking, you all are listening. Of course, you are giving your reactions, you are writing in the chat box, you are sharing your point of views. So we are building relations. And the skill is by communication. And this is how we build and we connect. And then eventually we do teamwork. We collaborate with people. We do cooperation. Sometimes children of different temperament, they don't want to talk with each other. And then slowly and gradually they become friends. And sometimes you see the one is dominating, other one is suppressing, still they are friends. So that is the beauty of students in the classroom. They bear together, they choose, they support, they learn, they fight, and then they are again unite. So this is how this buddy system goes. And that is what the beauty of relationships on this planet. And every organism, I believe, is believing on relationships. Though we cannot read or understand each and every species, but they have relationships. So, similarly, here in our classroom, relationships matters a lot to do those collaborative projects. Teachers always says, do teamwork. How they will do teamwork until and unless they do not have relationships. Give them opportunity to build relationships. Give them opportunity to play certain games to understand who is their friend. Sometimes children feel hesitate to make friends, but they still want to be friends with someone who is near and dear. They keep on looking at that child, but they hardly have vocabulary word to connect. Give them opportunity. Give them that way to approach. And eventually they talk and then they get united. They do some team building, they cooperate, and finally they communicate. Role playing, I believe, is the beautiful way to show different gestures all together in one single skit, and the one who is watching can understand different emotions, categorize different emotions, understand the beauty and the difference, the thin line between each and every emotion, eventually taking gratitude on the top. As you can see in this small clip as well, all four are doing some role play and they are showing one or more kind of a feeling through that skit, and it make children understand what is apology, what is conflict, what is gratitude, what is angriness, what is smile, what is laughter, and then they understand, and eventually they talk and they use. So by your socio emotional learning, you are somewhere helping the children to speak, to communicate, and to have literacy building too. In this era, we are very much into the word integration. So, your socio emotional learning integration is also very important. Now, we have to teach different subjects in the classroom. Right from early years till higher grades, we talk about literacy, numeracy, we talk about different language sessions, we talk about understanding the world, that is your environmental science, and then eventually the numeracy, mathematics, science, English, Hindi, and of course art. You cannot skip IT in this era. So, your socio emotional learning is connected or can be integrated into each and every subject. Idea is how we make it smart for our children. Your lesson plan should have an element where you can integrate SEL in your subject. Either you are a literacy teacher or a art teacher or science teacher or a social science teacher, integrating any approach is possible. Idea is taking an initiative. So for language teachers it's too easy because they deal with stories, they deal with case studies. So for them, integrating socio emotional learning by using different characters and, of course, talking about different feelings in any particular story or chapter or, uh, you know, biographies, they do. Similarly, for mathematics, they encourage peer tutoring, they celebrate the mistakes as learning, and eventually you make different props to understand the subject, and meanwhile sharing the feeling when you accomplish the task. So, this is how you integrate. Eventually, when you do group experiments with cooperation, that is obviously the part of science. Even in mathematics, we do different experiments. So, in that case, in laboratory, when children are working together, they are sharing the apparatus together, they are reaching the learning outcome together, is again socio emotional learning, because they are showing respect, they are learning together. Togetherness is a beautiful word. So we need to make the children understand there are so many activities where they have to individually perform. We are the one who make the difference. We are the one who make them understand that this is an individual task where you are coming up on the front and performing individually. But not every time. You take your friends along for cooperative activities. You have to take your friends along, your peers along for group activities. And this is how children understand that this time, this is not an individual call. This time, I need to meet the objectives along with my friends, along with my members. And that is what building a strong relationship, eventually, a strong individual with all the emotions, balanced emotions, self awareness, management of the emotions, eventually socially aware. And last but not the least, expressing emotions through colors. Color coding is a very prominent and I must say very effective way of expressing. If I'm using more of red, it means my life is too vibrant. If I am towards the darker side, I'm using black. I'm on a conservative side, I'm using brown. I'm very happy, I'm using yellow. I'm using orange. Even I'm using green when I'm too much connected to nature. So these different colors will give you an understanding what kind of an emotion is going in the mind. And eventually you connect. And then by this art subject, you even understand what is going on inside the mind of a child if the child is disturbed. This is called art socio emotional therapy, where by their drawings, by their patterns, by their journals, their socio emotional reflective journals, you come to know that the child is facing some trouble. And of course, I am not the right person who may help uh, on entire end, but yes, I am the one who may initiate, who may go and talk about, who may even convey to others, who may even talk to that child in alone, who may the one with whom the child may share the whole field. And children do. Trust me, they do. They talk with you because they don't have any fear. When you talk with them in alone, they tell you the whole scenario. They may share the whole inner self which is going on, and then you are the one who may help or solve that difficulty. So, integrating SEL will help you to raise this socio emotional learning to a very positive end using intern in different subject was. Now, my self behavior, my role. What is my role? Since beginning, we are talking about different elements, different components, and different so many questions coming in between, and different strategies, environment. Now, eventually, on the top, my role is what? My role is as a model, first of all. I'm a role model in the classroom. I told you, when all 40, all 30, all 25 are with you, it means they are under one single umbrella, that is you. And when they are with you, they are getting equal opportunity to share, to do, to not to have fear, and to express at par. And eventually looking forward for the solution as well. And trust me, we are the one who can knock any door and who can easily open the door to find out the solution. So I am the model. I, as a teacher, is a model, right? And I will handle that SEL behavior by using different aids, inculcating patience, empathy, respect, which is impactful in the social behavior of the child when the child will grow up gradually. Nobody, whenever you go to someone's house, will ask you, do you know algebra? Nobody asks you. But, very simple question, what is sharing and caring? Everybody says, what is sharing and caring? When you say thank you to someone, everyone expects what you should supposed to speak. Everyone is expecting that you should say welcome. Nobody is asking you different definitions of Hindi grammar. Nobody is expecting. Nobody even asking you. Nobody is asking you conjunctions. Nobody is asking you prepositions. But everybody is talking about kindness. They say sit properly, value. They say eat properly, value. They say, can you talk with your friends? She is your new friend, socio emotional. They say, go and play with your new friend, socio emotional. They never ask you literature, they never ask you social science questions. So, this is a learning which is making you a beautiful citizen. So, my role as a teacher is on the top when I am making beautiful citizens, first of all. Children in my class should have that beautiful relationships in that race of finishing the syllabus, in that race of, you know, teaching our own subjects, we lose this value, this very important approach that is socio emotional learning. If we keep it on the top, every subject is easy because they share problems, they get solutions from their own friends, they talk with each other, they eventually feel happy when they come to school. That is again a question. Sometimes parents say to teachers that my child is not happy to come. If I am sorted as a socio emotional learning approach, uh, you know, understanding teacher, then in that case, no child will be sad in my class. Every child will be happy. No punishments, no such practices. Always empathetic. Of course, firmness sometimes will give the right direction to the child. No doubt. But there is a thin line. The child should understand. that this is in benefit of mine. I should take care of this. So that is again very, very important, right? Celebrate small efforts. It hardly take anything. You should celebrate. You should have small appreciation stars. There are teachers who always start their session with full zeal. They display those star system appreciation charts in their classroom in the beginning of session, because of course everyone is having that zeal, you know, to start the new session. And then eventually we lose that zeal when we are into our subject learning and syllabus completion. But celebrating these small events in the classroom will help you to make beautiful citizen. And then eventually you expect that child should have a good temperament in the classroom. That temperament related, that emotional learning related approach we lack, and we should not stop celebrations. You never know. Sometime a celebration in the classroom will give a new start on the next day. Every child is looking forward for a new element of crisp in the classroom. And there are teachers who connect. And then eventually, what will happen? The child will say, "This is my favorite teacher." How they define the word favorite? What do they feel? What is favorite? Favorite is related to some act which that teacher has done, something which touches the heart of that child, and that creates that teacher into a favorite teacher. Maybe an appreciation, maybe a warm hug, maybe reading the eyes of that child who's not feeling happy, maybe listening to that child who want to speak something. So can you understand how beautiful it is? And that beautiful element is with me. I'm the one who can easily implement and will give opportunity to the children to connect. And eventually the child will say, "She's my favorite teacher." Let every teacher be a favorite teacher. Be empathetic. Give that opportunity to the children. So, as a teacher, my role is very, very important. I should be very comfortable, and vice versa. They should enjoy with you. They should feel happy with you. They should at least sometime may say to you, "I love you, ma'am." And there is no harm that when we say to the children that I love you all. You all are my darlings. Not a harmful sentence. So easy to speak. And it will make their day. So our vocabulary is building relationships with the children. Check your words when we use in front of the students. And even give constructive feedback to the parents when they are not using appropriate words with them if they share with you. It's again an eye opener for the parent to understand that their child is grasping something which is not required to be. Very interesting case study is there for you. Let's have a look at this case study to relate better with this approach, that is socio emotional learning. This is a case study of grade 5, and the school is urban CBSE affiliated school. Student name is Ria, who is 10 years old girl. This girl is belonging to a place which is an urban area, and she is an intelligent student. She sometimes excels in academics. Excelling in academics is related to numbers eventually. So the sad part is that we are more into numbers, and the focus of building a strong citizen or a beautiful citizen somewhere lacks. However, she frequently struggles with relationships. She might be not taking interest to build relationships because she easily get tired, frustrated, not interested with group work. If things are not going to her way, that's very common, she feel difficult to connect. And then she suppress emotions. Of course, the emotion which is prominent is angerness and very stubborn, don't want to be cooperative. Such kind of emotions are prevailing, coming, and she won't be able to manage those emotions. And of course, when you do such project work or collaborative activities with children in classroom, you observe such behaviors. So similarly, teacher observed the behavior that she is dominating the group. Now, very simple question I'm asking you, is this a wrong word? Dominating is a wrong word, or it's a common word, or it's an okay word? You may write your opinion. So she is the one who is dominating, and sometimes, withdraws. Now, again, withdrawal is related to different kind of traits which are going on there in mind. She is thinking differently, others are thinking differently, ideas are not matching, she is not accepting the idea, right? And similarly, things are going on. Thank you so much for your response. This has led to conflicts. Now these small children, they do conflicts, and with their peers, when they do conflicts, sometimes visible stress is appeared, and that stress is without any appropriate reason. When you are doing teamwork, when you are doing collaborative work, you need to listen to your peers, you need to have patience, you need to have no scope of withdrawal because you are doing all alone. So when you are assigning such tasks, you must make children aware of these vocabulary words first. And then, trust me, teachers, if you are making them understand such words or such vocabulary, such emotions, they may understand the work better. I hope I am connecting with you. And there will be less scope of conflict. But yes, this child was showing that behavior, and of course, this behavior is very prominent behavior. This is not a exceptional behavior. There are people who are dominating. Later on, they become leaders. There are people who don't want to do task and then they withdraw by their choice. But eventually, they should understand first what they are doing. If they do not know, if I, as a teacher, not making them understand what is withdrawal, what is dominating, what is the difficulty, what is the word struggle, what is the word conflict, what are the different pros and cons, then how the child will be able to understand. So, this is the one who is me, who is taking care of all these keywords, who is relating the children first of all, compatible, making them with these words, and then finally the child will come up with true colors. And of course, manipulations take place, no doubt. We also do manipulations when we do teamwork, isn't it? We do. And that is what our social behavior is then. Because every time things are not according to us, we make them understand, we make them build for challenges too. That is what is coming up next in this session. So, this girl was showing different traits already highlighted, and let's see what will come next. Now, the challenge is coming. Every time when we show any kind of behavior which is not as per the compatibility of that environment, will lead to challenges. And here the challenge is difficulty in self regulation. We are talking since beginning self awareness, self management, social awareness. Here the child is facing trouble. Self anger, disappointment management is not there. Leads to what? Leads to struggle to understand others, leads to limited empathy, question, leads to either no relationship or weak relationship, question, leads to isolation from peers, turning point. So, challenges are like beads of necklace. The moment more and more beads are going on in that string, it will lead to that strong necklace which will become a trouble challenge for the child. Taking care of this self regulation, inculcating empathy and relationship skills, very important. Otherwise, challenges goes on and there will be too much difficulty which will take place. Now that child Ria was facing that much, that is the part of the inner self, that is the part of a personality, or you can say that is the part of a lagged socio emotional behavior, or you can say lagged socio emotional learning. But of course, we teachers go for interventions. Interventions in your morning circle time. Go for that active listening session where you listen to the children. Go for that feeling based session. Make their morning very, very happy. I don't know from any temperament the child is coming to the school. Sometimes parents even scold them when they go to the school, when they are not getting ready properly, when they're not taking their breakfast properly. You never know from which temperament the child is coming into the classroom. So at least as a morning enhancer, you can make the day of someone who is coming from different temperament in the classroom. So morning circle time, I believe, will flush away that pinch of root content which happened in the morning or anything which is not as per the compatibility of the child has been done, or maybe due to any reason happened to the child, you may erase that. The peer members may erase that. isn't it? Then is the role play activities. Role play activities will flush away what has happened in the morning or last night, and they will build a bond. They show kindness, they feel happy, and daily feeling chart will make you understand whether I need to take a turn in this classroom environment or whether the things are going on correct. If I see sad emojis, it's a turning point for me. It's a call for me even to understand why this is going on. If I see three sad smileys in continuity, again it's a call for me. If I see, if I read the journal, feeling journal, which children usually create once a week or twice a week, if it is read, if it is too much shabby, scribbled, then again a call for me. Then I understand something is going on, which I need to do and make it correct. If I see collaborative projects are going on, teacher paired Ria with supportive peers who are listening to her. But later on, they spoke even when they got the turn. And then Ria understand that every time it is not speaking, it is listening as well. Now, who will inculcate that? The one who is standing at teacher's position. Mindfulness, breathing, certain exercises daily in the morning circle time, daily in your BG sessions in your elementary and higher grades. Circle time is meant for foundation years and primary grades, and for elementary and higher grades is mindfulness breathing exercises. So we are relating with each and every teacher here. Will help the students to regulate their emotions. Children, when they are in school till grade 12, they face different emotions, different temperaments, different age milestone. As per their age milestone, they have different traits prevailing, different hormonal changes. So all these are grouping, get paired with your socio emotional learning. So, how is it related? It's related better. Now, what is the outcome? Within 3 months, Ria showed improvement. Now, can you understand? 3 months is a big time. There's no magic wand. Things are going slowly and gradually. Ria was in a situation where she was having lots of traits. Can you see? Struggling, difficulty, dominating, withdrawal, conflicts, and the very beautiful content, or you can say the trait is intelligent. Though she was intelligent, but she was lacking those socio emotional traits. So sometimes this question arises that the child who is academically performing so well sometimes won't relate with children, won't relate with peers, won't feel happy in too much, uh, students near to him or her, or having company of too many friends. Now, I believe with this case study, we can relate with such students. And the teacher is feeling happy that this child is intelligent. Just leave it. Leave these traits. What happened? Yes, very important. Eventually, this intelligent girl will go into a social environment after learning and will survive with the social people only. Eventually, in the school also, they survive. Though we are focused with learning in schools and learning institutions, we are more prone for learning rather than behavior, socio emotional learning. We are more focused on academically learning based pattern. But when this child will do reading and eventually going for that outside world from your learning hub, what will happen next? This child will, though this child is intelligent, this child will face n number of different, you know, question marks, or you can say disagreements. Hurdles is the correct word, I believe, uh, which will lead to this child to raise in that appropriate working era. Being an intelligent child, this child will face difficulties because she will not take assignments. Eventually, she'll feel hurted. She'll feel hurted, no doubt. She will feel hurted at the age where no one will be there to correct her. But if she feel hurted here, we are the one who are teaching can, clear and make her correct. At workplace, nobody is making anybody correct. In outside world, nobody is making correct. We are the one who are making correct, and we are the shape givers who are giving shapes irrespective of anything, any background, any kind of a thing. All 40, all 30, all 25 is ours. And eventually they are coming, they're going out in the outside world as our learners, right? So this is how it goes. So this is very important to understand that children in our classroom are intelligent, but they're facing such kind of traits is again a question mark, because eventually getting good marks and surviving outside are two different, what you can say, scenarios. You cannot compare, and eventually you find these challenges prevailing in the life of the child. So many challenges. This figure is saying life is colorful, and if things are coming happily to you in form of different colors, so things will come you as a challenge as well. And can you see so many challenges? Being an intelligent girl, so many challenges. What should she do? What she will do? Feel helpless when there will be no mentor. And then eventually she will reach the milestone where she will no more be a soft clay. When you mold a soft clay, the soft clay will take a beautiful shape. When you mold a clay which is dry, it will be very, very difficult to give shape, and eventually that shape will break. And similarly, one of the teacher has written, she will feel hurted. Eventually, she will feel hurted, and nobody will be there to help. So these challenges are too prominent. They are visible throughout the learning journey of the children in the classroom. At each and every age milestone, you may see such challenges. Idea is interventions. We had discussed n number of interventions which we may opt, which help students to understand that empathy, building relationships is very, very important. Without collaboration, no department on this earth is working. Every organism, I believe, is doing some collaboration, right? In our food chain, even everybody is collaborative, and that is the reason why that food chain is active. Otherwise, we will be having a lot of scrap and the things will not get decomposed. So, collaboration is a key in the environment. The very, very important for the students, even to understand that their collaboration, their teamwork, their all in all contribution is very, very impactful and important for them to be good citizens. And it is not at all a subject specific, not at all a one single subject specific. It is for every subject, in every classroom, in every daily day to day learning environment. We see such situations. So, all the teachers, any subject specific teacher, may initiate and enhance these socio emotional learning traits in the classroom so that, just like Ria, students will not prevail with such circumstances. This word stress is a very harmful word. Why this word is prevailing? Too much we use this word. This word is not having any scope of development when children are happy in the school, when they are happy with their friends. There should be no stress. They are, if forcefully doing anything, they will prevail with this word. And this word is really a harmful one. This is age appropriate word, and especially for children, this is really harmful. They should say that we have a lot of work. They should say we will accomplish our work. They should say we will cooperate with each other and let's finish this work. But they should not say that I'm feeling stress, there's a lot of work. They should know the beauty of teamwork. They should know how to approach and communicate to their parents for collaboration so that this word stress should not come into the life of them until and unless they reach that appropriate age. After reaching appropriate milestone, then such vocabulary words may come into understanding and will give them appropriate time to connect. Otherwise, children will not learn empathy, collaboration, teamwork. They overlap socio emotional learning with such traits. Outcome after 3 months is coming. So, can you believe we have to give this much of time to such children? There is no magic band. And of course, Ria showed improvement. You need to give time. She is a soft clay. If you give shape, definitely she might take time, but she will take shape, which will not make her brittle at this end, which will not break her at this small age of 10 years. Later on, when she will be rigid and will not be able to take proper shape. So, this is the right time when the interventions took place, and within that time span, Ria showed improvement and that social emotional awareness too. She understands that this is something which I was lacking and I was not aware of. She began listening. You all are listening. I'm speaking. That's again a beautiful trait. We should be a good listener. Even I listens when children speak. And that is how we build beautiful relations. And active listening is again an icing on the cake. Active listening to the peers, even. There are students who feel hurted if someone say uh, harsh or little firm or even give a hurt to the peer member. That is what empathy. And we connect, and then we feel as if this relationship is going on for a longer period of time because they acknowledge each other, they love each other, they respect their ideas, even they fight, even they say that they don't want to sit together today, but later on, next day, they again want to sit together. Children talk. Noisy classrooms are lively classrooms. They show that children speak, that they communicate, they share feelings. So I believe it is necessary. I believe no noise is not the word. Let's make it less noise. Let them speak, be positive, and teachers observed a more calm and balanced approach in her behavior later on. Calmness is sometimes inculcated genetically, sometimes it is inculcated by approach, sometimes it is inculcated by busyness when you are busy in doing certain activities where you learn this, you know especially the art integrated learning will give that calmness and patientful learning in the children, and that is what is important content of socio emotional learning. So I believe just like Ria, you might be having any one Ria or Rahul in your classroom, and that Ria and Rahul need your support. Last but not the least is reflection. Of course, every time we have certain action plan and reflection as a teacher. So my own self reflection is very important. Which strategy I'm already using and which strategy I have to use next. And then which new I may start. I should opt something new as well. We are in an era where we were millennials and we were at time when that internet was a new word for us. But right now, they are all digitally, or you can say digital natives. So you are dealing that generation. So of course, open your arms, accept and learn new. That oldness is no more a new. When you are dealing with a generation which is new, which is tech savvy, so in that case, we need to change our own new methods or revise. And then exit ticket. One SEL practice I will try this week, of course, right? So this is what a call that I should use something new this week. And let's see how it will go. And let's see, no more Riyas and Rahuls in our classroom. But yes, I believe every time we have one Riya or Rahul in the classroom. Idea is I take a step ahead and inculcate so that no such things prevail in the classroom and our classroom will be socio emotionally rich. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aarti, for this insightful webinar. Um, Let us see if there are any questions. There are two questions which were asked at the beginning. I'll just read it out to you. There was a question from a teacher asking, "Ma'am, can you tell me a small warm up for kids?"
Yeah, sure. Uh, we have warm ups for different age appropriate children, right? So, if we talk about foundation years, we usually go for exercises which are meant for whole body movements, right? I don't know if teachers are compatible with this or not. They should do full body movements with the children, right? They should enjoy jumping. They should be children with the children. They should feel as if they are like the part of the classroom only, not as a teacher, but as a child. Do jumping, do running if you are outside, you are touching your different body parts, you are understanding, and that is how you make as if you are flying like a butterfly. You are shaking your body, you are shaking your hands. And then eventually, when we move for primary elementary grades, we go for some exercise which are energizers, and apart from that, which are meant for their brain as well. So brain development exercise, very simple, commonly prominated exercise which we sometimes saw in the classroom, is that open and close. One time they are doing like that, and one time they are doing like that, and then eventually open close, open close, open close, open close. So this is how we make the children understand to that listening as well, and eventually they are using their finger movements to understand and do accordingly. They feel trouble, they even do wrong, and then they laugh, and then they eventually rejoin, and then they again do. And this is how we connect with the children. So there are n number of warm up activities which we can do with the children. But yes, most prominent one which we do with the children is jumping, stamping, shaking your body, shaking your whole body movements which we do, your shoulder shrugs, and eventually touching your body parts, and correlating with the new vocabulary words. Finally, touching the emotional wheel, where you are laughing, where you are making surprise face, anger face, sad face, happy face, and eventually at the last we do a big laughter. So n number of warm up activities are there. You may use and choose according to the age milestone you deal as a teacher.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this will be helpful for teachers across grades. There's one more question that one of the teacher has asked. Can we teach them through value education and stories?
Yeah. Storytelling, I believe, is the best way to
Yeah.
teach any emotion, and your role play is related to storytelling only. Any story which you have in your mind, which you have in your storybook, you can use picture cards. First day you tell that story, you narrate that story. Next day you may make that story by role play to make or present in front of the children. Either teachers are presenting or children are presenting. You may use those trump cards, I always say. Those who are very much on speaking skills, those who are very expressive, the children who are very too much talkative, so take them as a trump card of your classroom and make them to go for that role play. And the children who are feeling hesitated or not connected or feeling shy will immediately connect. They feel as if she's speaking, I can also speak. And this is how they learn, and then they do peer tutoring. So your role plays, your storytelling, I believe, is the best way to make them understand the emotions, and eventually they understand that this word happiness is this. When they see someone feeling happy, when they see that sad face, then they relate, okay, this is sad. This is something which is sadness. Otherwise, they feel, what is sadness? I don't know. So, this is how they relate. So, storytelling and role play is the best way, I believe. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. One more, a little difficult question, I feel. What if one teacher is favorite of all and her this trait is not liked by all and is told indirectly to be a bit strict? This is very teacher related question.
Exactly. See, I use one quote as well, that chance makes our parents, but choice makes our friends, right? So, my choice is my inner self, isn't it? So, being a student, if I like ma'am, so that is my choice, isn't it? So, if someone is liking, you cannot overlap. The thing which we are inculcated into the child, we are questioning that thing only, first of all. So we should not, first of all. And we all are social animals, so we should know that we, whatever we are inculcating, first we have that self inculcated, isn't it? So if we are having that self inculcation, we will not question that self inculcation, isn't it? If teacher is firm, sometimes we are firm with the children, of course there is a thin line, because we make the children understand this is not the area where you are supposed to go for. So that thin line is always there. We are the one who are shape givers, as I told you. So when we are opting any strategy for the child, we are not hurting the mind of the child, we are not hurting the personality, we are not touching any soft trait which will get hurted by our vocabulary word. We teachers are opting the strategies based on the models. I had shown you one model. On the basis of that, we touch each and every approach in children, right? Because they are in an era where sometimes they are too much expressive, sometimes they are least expressive. So any teacher who is feeling as if the teacher is a favorite of students, and if any teacher is feeling that I'm on a little firm and then I'm not a favorite one, every child is having a different understanding for selecting any favorite teacher, I must say. You never know. If I am having this haircut, sometimes children feel and connected with me. If some teacher is going on through that corridor and give a hug to the child, that teacher will become a favorite one. If the child is saying, "You are my darling, you are my darling, how are you?" the teacher is a favorite one. So you never know who is the favorite one. So if I feel I'm not, you never know, I am also a favorite one. So we should take it on a very positive note. You never know who is liking to you until and unless you talk to the children. So talk to children, you will become a favorite one. So this is something, what you can say, a little manipulative answer. But yes, I must say we all are favorites, right? We all are teachers and we are respectable, and children love us like anything. Moment you dive into the ocean, you'll come to know.
There are two questions related to how to handle arrogant child, how to improve attentiveness in children.
For attentiveness, of course, patience is very, very important. There are children who are not having the key patience and calmness. For that, I had shown you one calm corner as well in the strategy, slide, where you create one calm corner in the classroom. And if that child is not listening or attentive, you have to give some time to that child to go into that calm corner and relax. That's a cozy corner. I must go to that slide if you want to see that. That corner is a need of time. I told you we are teaching children in an era where we are making changes in the classroom, right? So opting new things into the classroom will make, and yeah, so this is the calm corner, right? Where you have certain things displayed and a cozy sitting area where child will do something, get relaxed, focus on some self learning, and then again coming back to the learning area. So there are children who disturb others, of course, I admit it. There are children who are less attentive. So give them scope and observe them later on what they have done in that area when they leave that area, once you get free from the children, right? So calm corners is one of the prominent, what I can say, or the leading remedy or solution coming in the classroom environment. You may opt it, and let's see how the results will go, right? For arrogant child, I must say, arrogancy is a personality trait, right? If I am arrogant, it's my personality trait, right? Then eventually we make it correct. Of course, I'm saying we are shape givers, so we make it correct by certain stories. We make certain characters to be played in that particular story. And then what will happen? That child will definitely relate. I must tell you, that child will understand that this is the parallel behavior I show sometimes. Trust me, they show. They even feel, they don't understand, they show some expression on the face. They feel that this character is relating to me, and then they see that the character eventually doing something else as per the script of the teacher, which is required to be done. And then that child will definitely, just like that Ria and Rahul, will take time but get change. So for such students, there is no magic wand, first of all. There is no key rapid interventions. It will take time. Ria took time. You also have to give time. We are all patient listeners and teachers. So give time. Time heal up everything. So for these children, you need to give a cozy hug, empathy, and time.
I think similar questions are asked again. With the interest of time, we will close the webinar now. We
One
hope
question.
today.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. This is very interesting. I really want to take it. Kindly suggest the methods of sitting arrangement. Of course, and the slide is in front of you. Can you see this sitting arrangement? That is the reason why it is here, right? So, this sitting arrangement is a perfect one where you are relating with each and every one sitting in the circle. And this is the best way how you can see every child and relating. And this is very comfortable sitting way where you can put your skill lab and in an open area in your toy room in the school, and you may make the children comfortable in the morning and give a very warm cozy start, and let that day shine like a bright sun.
Right. Thank you. Uh, Dear participants, we hope today's session gave you valuable strategies to implement socio emotional learning in your classrooms. We have explored multiple things like what is socio emotional learning, model of SEL, self awareness, self management, decision making, active listening, and multiple other things with a case study as well. Um, so, thank you, Aarti ma'am, for this insightful webinar.
Thank you
Dear
so much, ma'am, for this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, please take a moment to fill out the feedback form, which you'll be receiving in a while. Once submitted, your certificates will be emailed to you. So, yes, have a wonderful weekend. Wishing you and your loved ones happy Deepavali. And thank you for joining this evening. Good night and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much.